Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really digging into your sources on the BRICS nations. They're talking about gold currencies and this whole idea of dollar hegemony.
Hmm.
The U.S. dollar being dominant everywhere.
Yeah, it's a big topic.
It really is. And the question on everyone's mind seems to be, are we about to see some gold-backed BRICS currency knock the dollar off its perch? What the materials suggest, though, is, well, it's complicated. The immediate threat, probably overblown. But there is something else going on, something quieter but maybe more profound.
Exactly. There's been so much media noise, hasn't there? Speculation about this gold currency popping up overnight.
Totally.
Our job today, really, is to sort of unpack that hype, see what's actually happening with global finance long term.
Okay, let's start with that hype, this gold currency mirage. Your sources show how a story just takes off, right? Like an RT India tweet, maybe some comments from a Russian official get twisted.
Right, and suddenly it sounds like it's a done deal.
Yeah, imminent. But the official lines are, well, quite different. Leslie Maysdorf, the CFO at the new development bank, the BRICS Bank, he flat out said, no suggestion right now to create a BRICS currency.
And even Putin, his rhetoric has softened. It's less about aggressive de-dollarization now, more about pushing back against the dollar being used as a weapon.
And Brazil, which holds the presidency in 2025, they're saying no big moves are planned for a common currency either.
Plus, India is a major player here, and they are not on board. They've explicitly said there is no idea for a BRICS currency.
Why are they so against it? What are the sources pointing to?
Well, a couple of things. First, monetary sovereignty. India wants control over its own currency, its own monetary policy. Understandable.
Makes sense.
And second, geopolitics. They're cautious, maybe even wary of anything that boosts China's influence too much. Remember, they have their own global rupee strategy they're pushing.
Right. And beyond the politics, the sources highlight just how impractical a real gold standard would be for this group anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. Every country losing control over its money supply, trying to settle huge trade imbalances, like China's massive surpluses, with physical gold, it's difficult.
And they don't even have that much gold collectively, do they, compared to the G7, I mean?
Not nearly enough. BRICS Plus has maybe around 5,700 tons, the G7, something like 17,500 tons. So the reserves just aren't there for a classic gold backing. It would be a massive constraint.
Okay, so the gold currency itself looks pretty unlikely, maybe more of a political statement than a plan.
That seems to be the consensus from the materials, yeah.
But this is where it gets interesting, because while that idea is fading, something else is happening. A real, quieter shift.
This is the core of it. They are building an alternative financial architecture. Seriously.
Driven by what, primarily?
Yeah.
The sources seem to point to the weaponization of the dollar, Russia's experience with sanctions, frozen reserves being cut off from SWIFT. That was a wake-up call, wasn't it?
A huge one. It showed vulnerability. So nations are thinking, we need options. We need systems that can't be easily shut down by sanctions.
Okay, so what does this alternative system look like? You mentioned pillars.
Right. 3 main pillars emerging. First, just using their own currencies more for trade between themselves. Russia and China trading in rubles and yuan. India pushing its rupee deals with places like the UAE. That's accelerating.
Makes sense. Less reliance on the dollar for basic trade. What's the second pillar?
This is the plumbing, the new infrastructure. China's CIPS, the cross-border interbank payment system, is a key piece. It's basically their alternative to SWIFT.
How big is it now?
It's grown significantly.
Yeah.
By 2024, connecting nearly 4,900 banks, handling trillions in transactions, maybe $24.5 trillion. It's operational. It works.
Wow, okay.
But the really revolutionary part, according to these sources, might be Project mBridge.
mBridge, tell us about that.
Okay, so this is a platform for multiple central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, China, Hong Kong, Thailand, UAE, Saudi Arabia, working with the BIS. Imagine central banks being able to swap their digital currencies directly, peer-to-peer, instantly.
Whoa. So no need for intermediary banks like correspondent banks that slow things down now.
Exactly. It cuts them out. The potential is staggering, slashing transaction costs by maybe 50, even 70%. And settlement times from days down to seconds.
Seconds for international payments.
Seconds. That's the promise. It's potentially the killer app for bypassing the traditional dollar-based system for large chunks of international finance.
That sounds genuinely disruptive. Okay, so faster local currency trade, New plumbing like CIPS and especially Enbridge. What's the third pillar?
Strategic gold buying. Yes, they are buying gold, Russia, China especially. But it's not to directly back a currency in the old sense.
So why buy it then?
It's a strategic reserve asset. It hedges against dollar risk. It adds credibility to their own systems. And crucially, unlike foreign currency reserves like dollars or euros, physical gold held domestically can't be easily frozen or sanctioned.
Ah, okay. So it's a safe, sovereign asset in this riskier world.
Precisely.
So, pulling this all together, what's the big picture impact?
Mm-hmm.
The sources suggest not a sudden dollar collapse, but more of a slow erosion.
Exactly. A slow erosion of the dollar's exorbitant privilege, as it's called. And the numbers show it. The dollar's share of global reserves has slipped, from over 70% 20 years ago down to maybe 58, 59% now. It's a gradual shift.
And the result is?
A market for sovereignty. That's a key phrase from the materials. Nations get more choices. They don't have to use the dollar rails if these alternatives work better for them. It fosters a more multipolar, maybe more fragmented financial world.
So to wrap up, forget the flashy headlines about a BRICS gold coin for now. The real story is this quiet construction project building a parallel financial system piece by piece.
That's the takeaway. It's happening right now.
Which leaves us with a thought for you, the listener. In this world with competing financial highways, what new opportunities, or maybe what new challenges could emerge? For trade, for investment, maybe even for your own financial life down the road. Something to think about.